You know her. You sang her hit. And if you were ever wronged by a man in the early 2000s, you definitely screamed, "Oops, there goes the time we spent away," with your whole chest. But behind that powerhouse voice and catchy revenge anthem is a story packed with glitz, gossip, heartbreak, and a little touch of Hollywood crazy. So buckle up, because we're diving into the wild, fabulous, and occasionally shocking world of BLU CANTRELL, the R&B diva who went from Billboard domination to making headlines for yelling about gas poisoning at 2 a.m. in Santa Monica like it was part of her press tour. Yup, she needed attention that bad. But long before the meltdown, BLU CANTRELL was just Tiffany Cobb, which doesn't exactly scream icon. Sounds more like someone who files your taxes. But she did what all future divas do. Ditched the government name and picked a stage name that sounds like an expensive cocktail you'd order to flex. BLU CANTRELL. She grew up in Providence, Rhode Island. Yes, where the accents are strong and the winters are petty. She was the second oldest of 6 kids and was raised by her mom, Susie Franco, who was a jazz singer and beauty queen. So yeah, the drama was generational. Fun fact, BLU was so obsessed with the color blue that she demanded blue birthday cakes every year. Imagine being that emotionally committed to a Crayola shade by age 6. That's real drama queen material. She tried out for the role of Annie in the 1982 musical as a kid. She didn't get it and took it personally, which might explain the revenge energy in her music later. And yes, she could sing. We're talking real vocals, not auto-tune me and pray vocals. The bills weren't going to pay themselves, so she decided to use her talent and became a backup singer, harmonizing in the shadows of the likes of Sean Puffy Combs, hopefully without getting some baby oil. She even joined a girl group called 8th Avenue, which sounds like a dope streetwear brand, but was actually a short-lived band mentored by Teddy Riley. Long story short, the group flopped harder than a Wi-Fi signal on a plane. After that, Usher and a friend of hers introduced her to producer Tricky Stewart. Now, Tricky didn't just hand out record deals like candy. He saw something in BLU. After one killer studio session, he ditched his original girl group plans and focused on making BLU a solo star. She moved into Tricky's place in Atlanta, and not long after, she found herself singing her heart out in the office of L.A. Reid, who would soon become her mentor. One song was all it took. He didn't even need a second verse because he was ready to sign her. Okay, maybe he didn't literally say, "Where do I sign?" but the vibe was definitely that dramatic. In July 2001, BLU dropped her debut album, So Blue. Critics were like, wait, who is this girl? But by the time Hit 'em Up style Oops hit the airwaves, the world was screaming her name. That song was the revenge anthem of the decade. Cheating boyfriend, empty his credit cards. Bad day at work, blast Oops in your car. She told women to clap back financially before Beyonce ever said to the left, to the left.
To the left, to the left.
The track hit number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 and had her booked, busy, and in a Grammy dress by 2002. She was nominated for Best Female R&B Vocal Performance and Best R&B Song. BLU even made a cameo in the movie Drumline, casually singing the national anthem like it was no big deal. Then, in 2003, BLU teamed up with Sean Paul. Yes, that Sean Paul, the king of mid-2000s dancehall mumbling. And they dropped Breathe, a silky track that had the whole UK in a chokehold. The song held the top spot on the UK charts for 4 straight weeks, becoming BLU's biggest global hit. It also helped earn her second album, Bittersweet, a Grammy nomination for Best R&B Album. Critics were into it, but the US, not so much. Maybe America wasn't ready for round 2, but Europe, they said, "We see you, sis," and kept the love coming.
I got you, homie.
After a few years, things got quiet. Like, where did BLU go kind of quiet. Her label merged, her mentor L.A. Reid pieced out, and BLU decided not to re-sign. Instead, she hit the road as a free agent. She did some stage acting on Gossip, Lies, and Secrets, which sounds like every teen girl group chat, and even competed in NBC's Celebrity Circus. Unfortunately, she was the first to get booted. Now here's where the real tea spills. In 2014, BLU made headlines for a very different reason. Around 2 a.m., she was spotted running through the streets of Santa Monica.
Why are you running? Why are you?
She was screaming that someone had poisoned her with gas. Witnesses said she went full-on berserk mode, yelling about being a one-hit wonder and asking cops if they knew who she was. That was not the comeback tour we wanted. She was taken in for a psychological evaluation and fans everywhere whispered. But let's be real, put that chaos aside and BLU Cantrell gives off perfect woman energy. She's got the looks, the voice, the confidence, and that unbothered aura like, I know who I am and I don't need your validation. She doesn't broadcast her love life, doesn't do attention-seeking relationships, and rarely feeds the gossip blogs. But the few people she has been linked to, woohoo, let's just say the vibes weren't always as smooth as her vocals. And nothing proves that point more than what happened in 2003. BLU was dating a certain NBA player whose name wasn't confirmed, but the drama was loud. Things were going fine until she did a fully clothed Playboy UK photo shoot. He saw the pics and suddenly realized he couldn't handle dating someone in the spotlight. Instead of acting grown, he ghosted her. Just like that. BLU didn't fold though. She kept it moving, like a queen who's used to men fumbling the bag. And then there was Tommy Lee. Yes, that Tommy Lee from Motley Crue. But don't get too excited, it wasn't messy. In fact, it was shockingly normal. The two were spotted hanging out in 2003 after being introduced by their publicist, grabbed a few drinks, shared some friendly vibes, and that was pretty much it. No scandals, no drama, no reality TV-style meltdowns. Just a pop star and a rock star casually kicking it. Honestly, considering Tommy Lee's usual chaos levels, this might have been one of his most peaceful flings ever. BLU really had that calming energy. And then there's the big dog, the BLU Cantrell and Jay-Z rumors. Yup, the one and only Mr. 99 Problems, Mr. Beyonce, Mr. Rock Nation himself. The whispers were loud, eyebrows were raised, and there were even full-on fan conspiracies about the two of them being more than friends. So here's what went down. Back in the early 2000s, Jay-Z was everywhere. He was at the top of his game, rich, respected, and rapping about champagne and fast cars like it was therapy. BLU, meanwhile, was also blowing up, especially after the release of Hit 'Em Up Style. They moved in the same celebrity circles as they were both in the R&B hip-hop ecosystem. Then rumors started flying that the two were more than just casual acquaintances. Some folks swore they saw them getting cozy at industry events. There were whispers that Jay was checking for her and that the chemistry between them was hotter than a July studio session in Atlanta. But when BLU was asked about it later, she set the record straight. I never dated Jay-Z. I had a crush on him, but that's all. And honestly, who could blame her? He's too damn fine. And let's not forget, this was before Beyonce and Jay became the power couple. So if BLU had bagged Hove back then, the timelines would have exploded. So after all that mess, Beyonce and Jay-Z went ahead and named their daughter BLU in 2012. And suddenly, all of BLU Cantrell's search engine traffic disappears under baby photos. People couldn't help but wonder, was this a coincidence or was something more going on behind the scenes? BLU's music seemed to vanish and fans couldn't shake the feeling that her career was quietly erased. Now, we're not saying Beyonce pulled the strings, but in an industry full of behind-the-scenes moves, it definitely raised some eyebrows. Whether it was business or something more personal, one thing was clear. BLU got played, and it wasn't by a man this time, it was by the system. So where's BLU now? She's still performing internationally, especially in Australia and Europe, aka the continents that never forgot about her. She announced she was working on a new album back in 2013 and again in 2016. Is it coming? Is it hiding? But here's the thing. BLU's voice is still fire. Her legacy? Underrated but unforgettable. And even if she never drops another album, Hit 'em Up style alone earned her a permanent spot in the R&B Hall of Sass. At the age of 49, she's got an estimated net worth of $5 million, and that's without releasing anything new in over a decade. From Rhode Island to the red carpet, from backing vocals to topping billboards, BLU CANTRELL carved her name into music history. She gave us bops, she gave us breakdowns, and she gave women the courage to go full petty when a man did them dirty. She might have had a few hiccups, but BLU isn't just a one-hit wonder. She's a one-of-a-kind icon. And whether she's belting on stage or yelling in the streets of Santa Monica, she's gonna give us something to talk about.